Thokozani, I am Kwabadimu and I welcome you to my channel. Today I'll be talking about protecting your energy, something or rather a concept that we think is far-fetched, or rather it applies to us as spiritual people, because one thing we need to understand is that spirit is energy and we are energy beings, and our lives revolved around energies and energies we interact with. So it's important that we kind of understand this to a deeper level, not just take it on the top and things, oh, it does not mean anything to me. It means a lot to us as people living, or rather as spiritual beings. So I did reiterate parts of this video on relationship imprints, but I think this is where seeing Dlala ke manje, so that you understand it better, ukuthi why it's important for people to cleanse themselves, and why it's important for people to understand that you need to cleanse yourselves of energies that you've been in contact with, and etc. So one might, be complaining, Gogo, I'm a spiritual person, or I'm on a spiritual journey, and all of a sudden my relationship is not going well, or I'm a spiritual person and I'm not having any luck in relationships, or the likes. Well, one thing I need to tell you is that once you're a spiritual person, the energy protection button immediately goes on, because that is what sounds the alarm to amadlusi wako, right? I need you to think of yourselves as all of us carry magnetic fields, and all our magnetic fields are white as snow. But with every person you interact with, that leaves a dent on, or rather a fingerprint or a color. So now imagine if something white, you putting color on it, it's kind of like hard to remove that thing. So now it's important that should you be in a relationship, you are with someone that respects themselves enough to understand that I protect my energy so that I protect the next person's energy. We are in a new era and of a spiritual, balanced spiritual awakening, and gone are the days where you'd find an excuse, or a patriarchal one for that matter, and say, oh, men cheat, men do this, or no, I cheat because he cheats. Darling, energies is everything. If a person is not spiritually matured enough to understand that I need to protect my energies, or I need to protect my partner's energies, because whatever you are bringing in tends to affect any cycle of life going on in your life. If you let a person take advantage of your energies once, they will do it again, and they will do it again and again, until your energies are toxic, until you cannot even find a way out of those situations. That is what you need to understand when it comes to relationship imprints or interactions with other parties, is that you will be with someone and you are in a relationship, and whatever you are getting, because we are all magnetic fields, you will attract whatever it is that you attract, and take it back to someone that you're in a relationship that, let's say, they are not cheating or doing anything around that matter. So you will take it back to that person, and what happens is that they will take upon, certain DNA or characteristics of a person. For example, let's say the person you are cheating with loves, smokes a lot. All of a sudden, you get surprised when your partner develops an urge to smoke. So now I'm trying to create a simple example so that at least you kind of understand where I'm going with this, because it's not just what we see with the physical eye, but it's more of a spiritual thing, so I might say. So it also comes back to the thing that being in a relationship with someone, it's not just a relationship, but there's energies involved and egunamadlozi involved. So now you might find ukuthi your magnetic field, you merge and become one, and now it's what being protected or acknowledged by idlozi, that now you are this person. So you interlinking and bringing another person into that magnetic field messes up the frequency. Kunabantu walking around today abazinkunkuma ze-energies, because they move from one person to the next person, or they're in relationships and are seeing multiple people, and you know yourself that you are in that kind of a situation, but you stick it out because of love. Sometimes love is not enough if your energies are not being protected in the process, because it might not show itself today, but there are repercussions to all these energies being brought into your energy field. For example, typical one, you meet the same type of guys or you meet the same type of girls. It means there's something in your magnetic field that you carried from these particular people that is attracting them, because like repels and opposites attract. So whatever that person you had in your life was attracted to, the next person will, because they carry that same energy inside themselves. So it's very important that you meet someone that is spiritually mature enough to say, look, before we go any deeper, let us go cleanse and then have a relationship and see how far it gets. And now when the relationship end, learn to cleanse yourself. There is nothing wrong with seeking help from someone who is a healer and letting them know that I need help and I want to cleanse of relationship imprints. I find there's absolutely nothing wrong. You cleanse of divorce, you cleanse of relationship, you cleanse of things that are in your life. Water is life. That's why I always say it is important that we understand that and not just walk around with ourselves and thinking, oh, my life happened, because you might feel as though I'm a spiritual person and I'm not having any luck in this reason. Be grateful. Be grateful that your ancestors are protecting your energies, because anything and anyone that is coming into that magnetic field and your energies just get off, or your people are feeling the signals, they immediately push your annoyance button, and all of a sudden you think, I hate men, or I'm not interested. Be grateful, because if you're spiritual, you need to know that your energies need to be aligned at all times. And that means even with the party, or rather the person you are seeing at the time, needs to acknowledge and respect that you are dating a spiritual person, or if not necessarily a spiritual person, but in general, we are spiritual beings. Be with someone, like I'm saying this, who is matured enough to respect your energies, to protect your energies. If someone is sleeping around or someone is cheating on you and you're thinking, yeah, it's fine, men cheat, do all these, darling, you are settling for less and you are selling your energies for short. And I always say, sometimes look at the situations we put ourselves in. Do you think when your ancestors are looking at you, they are proud of the decisions you're making? Or sometimes you're selling yourself short, or rather you're allowing your energies to be tormented. For example, you get someone crosses path with someone onenkinga yezinto zakhe zempilo, and here you are spiritually aligned. They come back to you, bring you those very same energies, and what does it do? It affects your spiritual life. Ubona ukuthi awusaphuphi, ubona ukuthi into zakhe azisahambi kahle. That is why it is protocol ukuthi uma umuntu wedlozi, you do not enter the holy place uma ngabe ungaklenzanga or ungagezanga, because it's energies. Mandulo, they would not necessarily put it like that, but I'm here to let you know that energies is important. Sex is power, because the minute someone sleeps with you, there's a bit of yourself that is transferred, because we are all magnetic fields. So sometimes it's nothing wrong. You shouldn't be ashamed of you being single, because be bold enough to say, I am protecting my energies until I meet someone, or rather someone crosses my path and that respects themselves enough to protect their energies. Then I can only be with that person. Not everything is your portion, because people will always find themselves in situations they cannot get themselves out. So it's important we understand that everything is energy. You cannot appreciate toxicity. You always find that I'm in this relationship, or you moved in cohabiting or co-inhabiting, whatever you want to call it. The energies, what you are saying about your ancestors, you're selling yourself short. How is this person going to protect your energies if you left home and ungaphumanga ngendlela right to go live with someone else's, someone else, and ngapha unezinto zamandlozi and uzoyenza kanjani umsamo wakho? It's just a lot of things. Let us respect ourselves and respect our ancestors enough. So I believe that we're gonna be better parents because we're raising spiritually awakened kids. Imagine our kids having to preach this to themselves, that I need to protect my energies. I cannot just go around having orgies. Imagine the energies exchange there. Who knows what I'm taking home with me? That even applies the same with sleeping with sex workers, not to offend anyone, but there is certain DNA you are taking from them and you're taking them to umuntu wakho. You find umuntu wakho now has changed or is talking different way. Candy that you were with at that particular place. That comes to show you that life is energy. Because if someone really is meant to be in your space, or rather someone's energy, flows with yours, you're not supposed to be scared of them. You're not supposed to feel, ashamed. You're not supposed to feel uncomfortable to be comfortable. That is why the problem is people lose themselves in other people. It's because you allowed your vibrations to vibrate very low. Your frequencies is corrupted. That is why after the breakup, you can't find yourself. You are lost. You feel as if you can't survive without this person. But if you know that everything revolves around energies, you will look at things differently and understand things differently. That is just life. Life is spiritual. Life is spiritual. So if you know that you are a victim of either of the circumstances or situations I've elaborated in this video, get up from that bed or couch or wherever it is you're watching this video and start to fix your life. And don't say that I have this thing of all the guys I attract are just people that need help. No, get off that. Get off that. Cleanse off those energies. That is why you need to cleanse off those and rebalance. You are from a divorce. You cleanse yourselves of people you've been. That is how you take care of yourself. But sometimes the trick is you go and you cleanse and you go back to that person. Energies. Now that is just toxic. You need to decide what it is that you want for yourself or what it is that you want for your life so that it can help you moving forward. But that's just my 2 cents worth of advice from the spiritual world, and I hope you take it, because if this is for you, it's gonna itch somewhere. But if this does not matter to you, carry on with that. But that is why you find even some people become single up until the end. It is not because of there's something wrong with you. It's just that the frequency of your ancestors vibrates very high and they will do any and everything. That is why my mantras are very selfish and protective, because they know what is at stake. Imagine for you to realign your energies for just a general jack to come in to mess up your frequencies. You know how much work it's going to take for you to fix all of that? That is why even spiritually people, they not crowd people, because we feel energies more than we feel anything. So protect your energies. That even goes with people. That even goes with life. You should not be with someone and feel otherwise, or you feel shaky whenever you think of that person or when you see that person. Because if that still happens to you, be it an ex or something, you need to know that there's still DNA of them in your spirit, or something that is still attaching you to them. So in terms of that, it stretches out to soul ties and all those other things. And that is why it's important you let go, because there are some people that will go back to your exes numerous times and like, oh my gosh, I feel that, there's always something pulling me there. No, darling, it's energies. Inner soul ties, if you want to call it that. So protect your energies and learn to disconnect fully and be disciplined, because you can't say, I want this, I want that, I want better things, but you are bringing inkunkuma into your life. How am I supposed to bless you when there's so much baggage? You are taking someone else's baggage, and now une baggage, like it's just baggage on baggage. Can't you settle down with someone that that even if it's not necessarily settling down, but be with someone that protects and understand that with this current time I am with Lebu, I will protect her energies. I will protect my energies well. Have someone who respects themselves enough to know that not everything that glitters is gold. She might be beautiful, more beautiful than her or whatever, but when it comes to my energy, I'll just look. Thank you. Next. So let us be mature enough. Let us be the youth with spiritual intelligence, with spiritual inclination, and not just do things because we feel YOLO. YOLO doesn't work in the spiritual world. And someday uzoguga ube mdala. Or for a matter, if you're a woman, you're gonna be someone's mom, and you find ukuthi umntanakho has certain characteristics. It is because of the energies that are in your body, because all our things be stored lana in our chakras, especially our womb chakras, because that is where we carry a lot. You find that your child has got so many things on so many, you ask yourself, oh my gosh, what is happening? Kantumtana uthathe inkunkuma and all of that. So it's important to cleanse and protect yourself at all costs. Even that means burning certain bridges, because I don't think, why would you need to cross that bridge again if you know what you found that was in there? So thank you so much for watching my video. So protect your energies at all costs is very important. As people, we need to do that for ourselves, and allow yourselves to vibrate very high and vibrate yourself to the good things, because even with things that we have in our lives and whatever, it's energies. You attract what you are, you attract what you want. So this is not a matter of, oh, it applies to a certain people but not us. It applies to everyone. It applies to everyone. That is why you even find ukuthi umuntu makashonile alala nomuntu oshonele boyfriend or indoda, you get sick. It's energies. You literally now where you are dead, but because you need to cleanse, that is where you realign your energies. It's deeper than just doing things. You ask yourself, why do we think? It's deep than that. So you need to know, you had an abortion, your energies, cleanse, because your boyfriend will go sleep with you and then go sleep with someone else who terminated and then come back to you, bring you those energies. You find that, honey, rather be taken with someone that protects your energies and protects you. And respects themselves enough. Life is spiritual. But other than that, thank you so much for watching my video. Remember to like and subscribe if you're still new to the channel. Leave your comments here. And thank you so much. I am Thokozani.